Hey guys, it's G-Man. I wanted to talk about the Marauder and Warhammer packs. These were announced a few weeks ago, put on sale recently, and I just feel like going over them, talking about them, just about the meanings, the structure, and the variants themselves. First of all, I want to go over that I think it's pretty cool that we get these packs. These are classic mechs. They're calling them Return of an Icon. I'm pleased that we get these. I personally was never so big on the old unseen mechs as a lot of other people, but I was not that big of a. I wasn't a tabletop player at all, actually, and I didn't really do much for Battletech lore stuff or anything, so I wasn't really even aware of these mechs as being a thing until I started playing MechWarrior Online. But since then, yeah, a lot of people have been talking about how much they want them. So yeah, kudos for bringing them. I also wanted to talk about how cool they look. Honestly, if you look at the PGI art and Shimmering Swords artwork that he's created for these mechs, very similar, but I mean, they're both also very similar to the original art for them. Like, there's a few differences, but all in all, I'm very happy with it. I've always been happy with Alex Iglesias' work, and that remains true. Honestly, I love MechWarrior Online's artwork in general. I feel like some of it is just some of it is a little too similar to itself. Like, it took me a while to be able to reliably tell apart like Thunderbolt and Battlemaster, and then like later on Banshee, Zeus, fucking uh, Mauler, even very similar aesthetic to some of these mechs, but I'm okay with that. I think that all in all, I'm happy with it. Um, but that's not really an issue with these. The Warhammer, it might be a little similar to like the Thunderbolt. Actually, now that I look at them, think about them, they're kind of very similar. Thunderbolt, Hellbringer. But in the end, the Marauder release is definitely a very unique look. Actually, it's pretty similar to the King Crab, but it's distinct enough that I'll be able to tell the difference, fortunately. And I do think that they both look very, very attractive. So now that I'm done talking about how cool they look, I want to talk about the implications of this. There's a few different reasons I can think of for why PGI might have done this when previously they'd been saying that Unseen. I don't know if they ever explicitly said that it's off limits, but they kind of said that they didn't have plans for doing it ever, as I recall. I There's a few reasons I can think of why they might have done this. First is maybe they were just talking to Harmony Gold and they came to an agreement, or way more likely is that they just fucking did a cost benefit analysis and said, fuck it, we'll probably make more money off of this than we'll lose in a lawsuit or whatever. And so they went for it. And then that's especially going to be true if we consider the implications of how close the announcement of these packs is to the announcement of the BattleTech game. Again, this is all just me theorizing, but I feel like we might be seeing these mechs come into the BattleTech game. Maybe not. I did actually look at the Kickstarter page, a little Q&A, and they said they didn't have any specific plans for these unseen mechs, but I wouldn't be surprised if mechs that PGI releases into MechWarrior Online find their way in there. Like, I mean, if you look at their list of mechs that they have planned, it's basically all of the Inner Sphere mechs from MechWarrior Online um, are being planned on in the BattleTech game. But yeah, so yeah, I think that all these factors, except for maybe them talking to Harmony, they kind of implied that they were lawyering up when Russ was doing the town hall. So I kind of don't feel like they negotiated this, but I do think that it makes sense for them, and I am happy that they did it. It at least implies that they know how they can make more money off of this game by reaching out to the diehard fans of BattleTech in general. Now I want to talk about what are in the packs themselves. Each one is organized at two levels, a $20 pack and a $40 pack. The $20 pack gives you three variants. There is no fourth variant available for early adopters, I think is what they call them. And so you get the 3 variants, you get 30 days of premium time, and you get 3 cockpit items, stand-in, hanging, and warhorn. Plus you get a title and a badge. So very standard stuff. This is stuff you'd get in pretty much any other pack, honestly. And if you get the $40 pack, you get 3 variants. Basically you get all that same stuff. Plus you get an extra variant with the Seabill bonus on it. This is just like a special version of a variant that you would have already gotten in the $20 pack, except for now it has a 30% Seabill boost. You also get 60 days of premium instead of 30, and you get 9 cockpit items, so 3 each of the standing, hanging, and warhorn. And then you get an extra title and badge. Technically, I did the math and I added up all the extra stuff you get in the $40 pack. This is a pretty hefty added value. When you look at the extra premium time, at the extra variant, I calculated it as a champion mech MC instead of a hero MC, because I just felt like that was more realistic, because you're not getting a unique mech. And I added up the extra cockpit items and shit. It came out to about $40 worth of MC worth of stuff. But the problem is, I don't feel like you get $40 of MC worth of stuff out of that. Like, you get an extra, the extra variant is just a duplicate of one that you would get anyways, but with a 30% extra Seabills on it. So, are you really going to be expecting to use a Marauder and a Warhammer to farm Seabills? Like, there is a chance that quirks will be released or redone or balance will be adjusted in some way that, yes, the Marauder and Warhammer will be amazing tier 1 top of the line mechs. It's possible. But it's really unlikely. Right now, the Timberwolf, Hellbringer, Direwolf, Stormcrow, Stalker, etc. Those are, well, maybe not Stalker, because that's not Seabill bonus, whatever. Those are way better for farming Seabills than anything you're going to get, as long as you have an invasion variant. And if you don't have an invasion variant, then honestly, just get like a Stalker Misery or something like that. Hero mech, easy peasy. Like, these mechs are probably not going to be exceptional at farming the Seabills, so that it's not going to be their main use. So I don't feel like that really adds $20 worth of value. I don't think it adds more than maybe $5 worth of value. Premium time is nice. That is about like $10 to $15 extra money. But is that the reason you're getting this pack? Like, it's definitely a bonus, but I don't feel like that should be the main motivator for you spending an extra $20 when you could just wait for premium time to go on sale or something. And I really don't feel like an extra 9 cockpit items, or an extra 6 rather, is worth that much either. I don't feel like any of these things are really motivating factors. I feel like the big one is the extra variant, and in my opinion that's not that big, and I don't think you get that much value out of it, even though mathematically you do get extra value, but I don't feel like that transitions very well into real felt content. The $15 add-on for a hero mech, I do think that $15 sounds like a lot, but honestly it would be like $25 if you got it with MC, so I'm okay with that. I think that that's pretty reasonable, and I also like that it's just an option. You can just take to just get that one thing if you want it. So yeah, I'm very happy with that bit, but I would have liked to have seen the $40 go down to $30 for the second tier of the pack. I think a lot more people would have bought it if that was the case. This isn't the first time we've seen this pricing structure. The original one was on the Urban Mech, where it was really not worth it to do any of that stuff, but a lot of people did anyways, because it's an Urban Mech, it's fun. Well, even that is arguable, but it was quirky. Let's use that word. Kervin's gonna kill me for that. But yeah, I like it. I like the pack itself. I don't like the $40 price point. I do think that this is in ways an improvement over the big mech packs where you have the 4 levels or a la carte. I would say that having the ability to just choose to get a single chassis at a $20 price point is much, much favorable to the a la carte option that we had before, where you would really just get the 3 variants and you wouldn't get any of that extra juicy bits like the premium time or anything else. You would get a resistance variant though. So for Inner Sphere it was $35 for a pack of 3, and that's what I'll compare it to because all the Marauder and Warhammer are both IS mechs. So if you get the $20 pack, I do feel like you're getting way more value using this system than you would in the a la carte. But if you get the $40 pack, I don't know. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. It's pretty much a toss-up. Like, again, mathematically you are, but realistically, I don't know. But then you gotta consider that the a la carte system is shit. Like, it really, you do not get that much value out of it. It's $35 for a single mech when the second tier of the system is $40. And that $40, like, that's everything that you'd get in the Marauder pack, $40, except for like just a little bit less premium time, but you get 2 chassis instead of 1. So that is another direct comparison where it does not go favorably to this new system. Yeah, all in all, I mean, I just have a big issue with the pre-order system in general. If you've read my stuff or watched my videos or anything where I've talked about this before, you should have a pretty good idea of what my feelings are about this. But basically, I think that pre-ordering regular game content that you will eventually be able to get for in-game money, I think that's silly. Especially when we're talking about a gap of months rather than days or weeks. Like, the only game that I know of, I'm sure there are some games that have an almost identical system to PGI's, but the only one I know of that has a similar one is World of Tanks, where the premium tanks, the equivalent to hero mechs, show up in the store like, I don't know, a week or 2 before they show up in the game for gold, which is their equivalent of MC. And this is just so different. These are regular mechs. These are ones that, like, are basically allowed to be OP because everyone should have access to them. Like, and I think that's caused real problems in the past. Like, originally we're talking about the clan pack, the original $240 pack, where it was the Timberwolf, Direwolf, Stormcrow. That's pretty much it, yeah. And, like, these specs were just straight up pay to win for, like, several months. And then it got better. But it got better because, like, just the time ran out. PGI didn't do anything about it, and they kept the system even. And it, like, later on, when they released stuff that was also way too strong, like the Hellbringer, the Arctic Cheetah, mechs, where the Ebon Jaguar mechs that were stronger than pretty much anything else in the game except for other mechs that were at one point part of a mech pack. Like, that's just such a flawed system to me. Like, it's just, I just think that's horrible. I mean, right now the game is not pay to win, but I think having the mech pack potential for pay to win there, I just think that's such a huge problem, honestly. And I think that them being mech packs also incentivizes it to be pay to win. For example, the 2C pack, like, I don't know, like, I can't really say that I know what their motivation was for releasing the packs, you know, besides making money, but I can't say whether part of it was that they knew that they would be too strong. But the 2C pack, if nothing is done to, like, just change the fundamental balance of the game, it's going to be ridiculously overpowered. I feel like, yeah, I'm complaining about something that hasn't happened yet, which is dumb. But I just feel like PGI hasn't really learned that they need to balance these things before they come out. Like, it's not like a conspiracy theory or anything. I just think that it's just pay to win. It's bullshit. I hate the mech pack system. I hate it so much. I just think it's just the worst thing about the game. Very possibly. But yeah, if you want to read about how I would rather they focus on market transaction or for a more rational view on this, like, there's NG articles I've written about this stuff before. But yeah, I feel like I should get back to talking about the Marauder and Warhammer. First up, let's talk about the Marauder, because that was the one that was announced first. We're looking at 3 regular variants and a hero variant. One of the regular variants is going to have 3 ballistic and 4 energy. Obviously, potential DACA variant, AC2s or AC5s. More likely AC5s. And, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I don't see there being a lot of potential for it in real viable play. I don't think that even if the mounts are high, on the ballistics, the energies are not going to be high, and it's just going to be inferior to a Jaeger mech for high-mounted Daka builds or even sniping. Then the second variant, we're looking at 5 energy and 2 missiles. This is like, it might be, I mean, it will be a good brawler, relatively speaking, because it'll have more speed than assault brawlers, and it'll have more firepower than medium mech brawlers. But, like, you're really investing a lot in just a heavy mech, into just brawling, which it can work, but not very reliably, and I don't like it. 2 missiles is like, I don't think that's enough even to make a missile-centric brawler, so you're going to be looking at like 5 medium pulse, 2 SR4s Artemis. Yuck, I don't like that at all. Then you look at sort of a more energy-based version of the ballistic stuff. 2 ballistic, 5 energy. I think this will be the best of the non-hero variants. Could be looking at stuff like 2 AC5s, 5 medium pulse, where it's like really, really nice DPS at kind of short range. It's kind of a weird build, actually. It's like a mix between medium and short range, but I think it'll be decent enough. And then there's the hero mech, where it's 7 energy and 1 ballistic. Now this is where I run into an issue, not just with the hero mech, but this is where my issue with the Marauder chassis in general becomes a problem. The right torso mount is really nice, it's really high, but it's a ballistic mount and a side torso, which means that in this current meta, the best things to run are a Gauss and a Gauss. And Gauss rifles and side torsos are not a great idea, usually. Not for IS mechs, especially on heavies. Like, you're going to be looking at either a standard engine with a Gauss rifle, which means you're going to be going pretty friggin' slow. Like, you're not going to be crawling along or anything, but you'll be going just almost as slow as an assault mech is going to be going. Which isn't good. Like, especially if you want extra firepower, if you want to do Gauss and 3 large lasers, you're going to have a tough time with a standard engine. Really tough. And then if you want to do full, less meta stuff with that Gauss rifle, just like Gauss 6 Meads, which is still going to be powerful, I do think, you're still going to be going, I don't know, 70 kph is what I'm guessing. Then the big alternative to that is to run an AC-20. These are the ones with the single hardpoint. And AC-20s, again, you're required to run standard engine. And honestly, I feel like one of the big problems with standard engines is that they don't let IS mechs get the speed or firepower that they need in order to actually compete with clan mechs. There's just so much pressure on them to go faster so that they don't get left behind in circle matches, and they also need to hit harder so that they don't get just permanently out-traded by 50 damage alphas. Like, it's okay if you're getting out-traded by 10 damage, but if you got like a 25 or 30 damage alpha on a fucking 75 tonner, that's atrocious. Like, you're gonna get wrecked. Unless it's a Daka build, obviously. But yeah, still, not great. So yeah, that's why I think the big builds are probably going to be AC5 oriented XL builds. Definitely potential on the 5M and the 3R. Next up, I want to talk about the Warhammer. Now, this is one that I'm actually looking forward to playing. It's going to have a ballistic in each side torso on 2 of the variants, one of the regular ones and the hero one. And along with that, it's going to have a lot of energy hardpoints. Now, I know that on the Marauder I said that having a Gauss rifle in that side torso was a bad idea, which it was, and it will be. But I don't give a fuck with the fucking Warhammer. I'm putting Gauss rifles in those side torsos. Dual Gauss. It's gonna suck. You're gonna get side torsos. You're gonna get killed really fast, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun while I do it. And I'll be able to throw like a large laser on there or some shit too. Yeah, I think that the mounts are also nice. They're not high like they are on the Marauder, definitely. But like, they're not low either. Like, looking at the artwork, they're gonna be a little bit below the cockpit and to the side, which, I mean, it's not great, but it's really not the end of the world. I think that could be a pretty nice spot. Now, Dual Gauss, I think it's going to be the for fun build, but I think the big build that we'll see on it is going to be 4 AC5s or 3 UAC5s or 4 UAC5s even, although the last one, less likely, because you have to run a standard on that, and that is a lot of tonnage for a 75 or 70 ton mech. But I think 4 AC5s with an XL engine, I think that could be really nice. They'll be going probably around 70 kph and just, oh my god, so much DACA. I actually said when I was talking about the Mauler in the Master Guide for that, I was talking about how I felt like 4 AC5s was just a little underwhelming for a 90 tonner, which it absolutely is. But on a 70 tonner, that is nice. The only reason the 4X isn't badass is because its AC5s are on its really low mounted and wide arms, which is just terrible places to put any weapon. But yeah, I think this could be a lot better. Nicer convergence and higher hardpoints and just more firepower and usability in general. And that's on the hero mech, unfortunately. Which, yeah, I would have much rather they'd made that one on the regular mechs, regular variants with the 4 ballistics. But I guess they were kind of limited in what they could do. The other variants we're looking at, one with 9 energy hardpoints, which will be nice. I think it'll be still inferior to the Black Knight and even Grasshopper at energy voting. But I think it'll still be... It won't be a pain in the ass to master it with that one, I don't think. And then the other one is going to be 6 energy and 3 missile, which is going to be really brawler-centric, but that's not the end of the world. The missile and mounts they look like they're going to be nice and high, so maybe you could do some hill humping with SRMs, who knows. I'm sure some people run LERMs, whatever. So yeah, I think that's about it for the new mech packs. I'm going to get back to actually writing the NGNG article. Links in the description. Hope you guys like it, and I will see you all later.